Welcome to hell. It's hot. Oh look, an audience. I have prepared for this moment. I brought my whole act. You guys like politics? I got some Trump jokes I haven't used in 3 weeks. Don't worry, they're topical. Trump is a joke. Boom. Okay. Now we're gonna go even deeper, because if God hates anything more than politics, it's religion. Did you know Jesus was a liberal? Yeah. That guy gave out free healthcare, free food, free wine. What a socialist. Hey, thank you. I really needed that. Yeah. Here's a joke about religion. There is this priest, a nun, and a rabbi. They all walk into a bar. You guys hear this one? But they don't order anything, because heaven forbid they drink alcohol. I'm going deeper, deeper, down into hell. This next joke will send me to super hell. I'm gonna make fun of God. But don't worry, it's only a little joke. How can it be that God created the world in 6 days? How can that even be possible? I mean, 6 days? Is God a fast worker? Is God really good at his job? Why not make 7 days? And if he did it in 6 days, how come he didn't just take 1 day off and just chill? Alright. Here we are in hell. I'm gonna try a very risky joke. Let's see if this lands. It's a joke about the devil. What's the devil's favorite instrument? Oh, I don't know. Is it a fiddle? Or maybe a guitar? I've got it. The devil's favorite instrument is, a drum roll, please. The devil's favorite instrument is the horns. Oh no. A joke about the horns and devil? I knew I shouldn't have told this joke. It was so risky. Now they're probably thinking, wow, that was so offensive. It's like this guy doesn't even care. Maybe he was in league with the devil. And maybe it's true. And maybe I am. I'm not telling. Maybe I'm getting paid by the devil to get everyone to burn in hell. How much is the devil paying me? More than I'm making in stand-up comedy. Let's go with that one. If we're not supposed to sin, why did God make it so fun? God may have created the world in 6 days. But it took Satan just 1 day to get rid of Adam and Eve. He made one convincing statement. And then we're all stuck here in hell. Maybe Satan's the real genius. God works in mysterious ways. Satan works in really cool ways. That's why all the best bands have the best riffs, and the best music videos. I mean, just compare Christian rock with death metal. Not even a contest. Not even close. Is it any surprise? The devil just has way better music. Look at all the bands he has. Ozzy Osbourne, Metallica, Slayer. God has you too. Why does God hate heavy metal? Why does God hate fun? Maybe God doesn't even like music. I bet God is that guy at a party who just tells you how great he is. You know the guy, he can say anything he wants, because he's God. But if you make joke about him, you burn. God is like Bill Cosby, but without the humor and drugs. He gives out only one drug: guilt. And the side effect? It's hell. I don't know why he can't be like Satan, who's just one cool guy drinking some scotch, listening to Metallica, chilling at the center of hell. Satan really has it figured out. Why did God have to ruin our fun? Why did he have to throw us out of Eden? Why couldn't we stay in there and smoke pot all day? What's so wrong with that? What God needs to understand, and I think he needs someone to tell him this: it's fun to sin. Maybe we like sin. Maybe the devil is right. I mean, what has the devil's done? We got heavy metal. We got porn. We got drugs. And we got some really badass videos by Slayer. God has the Pope. Satan has Call Me Al by Paul Simon. You tell me who the fun one is. God gave us sin. I guess I know which side I'm on. Hail Satan. I bet Satan has great benefits. Like if you work in hell, you probably get dental. But working for God? Nothing. You get nothing if you work for God. God is like one of those bosses. He pays you nothing. God doesn't even have a health care plan. God is like one of those jobs that says, we're a family around here, and then treats everyone like crap. I mean, how bad of a job is it to work for God? It's so bad. Satan was the first person to stand up to him. And for that, God made his workplace a living hell. Satan said, I quit. The very first office worker strike. This guy was a hero. A hero for standing up for himself. But instead the world sees him as a villain? A villain for not letting his CEO treat him poorly? What kind of world is this? It's messed up. A lot people think Satan's a bad guy. Satan's like the original hippie. He's always been about love. His name is Lucifer. Lucifer means bringer of light. How cool is that? Lucifer is a lot cooler than God. Satan is way cooler than God. Hell is a lot cooler than heaven. God's heaven's just a boring cloud room. Hell has fire and heavy metal. What is cooler? God could learn a lot of life lessons from Satan. Satan's just misunderstood. Look at all God's religions. Christianity, Islam, Judaism. They're all one big war. I mean, it's not like there's a religion called Satanism, where every Saturday we have to take our kids to Temple of Satan to worship Satan. I don't think so. Look at all the great things Satan has given us. Rock, porn, drugs, orgies, music videos, movies, heavy metal, badass guitar solos. Those are way better than the 10 Commandments. Satan is a free thinker. God wants you to follow rules and get in line. That's just boring. God is like the parent who is never proud of the kid. But Satan is cool. Satan says it's fine to have fun and do whatever the hell you want. And I think Satan's onto something. I mean, who's having a better time? God up in God's cloud room? Or Satan in the center of hell? With heavy metal music? I mean, come on, it's an easy choice. I mean, even God says Satan is the coolest. That's why he's always talking about him. God is obsessed with Satan. I bet God is like Satan this. And Satan that. If God hates Satan so much, it's like God is a closeted Satanist. I mean, God is so obsessed he's always mentioning Satan. Mentioning him in the 10 Commandments and everything. God's always like, thou shalt not worship any other god except me. It's like, God, you are so jealous. The first thing God says in the 10 Commandments is that people can't worship Satan. That's how cool Satan is. If anything, the 10 Commandments should start with, thou shalt not worship the most awesome guy in history. That guy being Satan. God's always complaining about Satan. I bet in heaven, God's always talking about Satan. Oh, I love my life here in heaven. But hell, Satan makes it look like fun down there. I mean, come on. God doesn't even have a sense of humor. But Satan? He's hilarious. In fact, Satan has invented the sin of telling a funny joke. I bet. God only finds puns funny. Satan probably invented, why the long face? Because Satan is a genius. Satan is even cooler than I make him out to be. He's way cooler than Jesus too. Jesus is nice. But Satan is the original hippie. Jesus could learn a lot from him. Jesus walked on water. Satan walked on air. A cooler mode of transport. Plus Jesus turned water into wine. Satan invented beer. He can walk on water and he invented alcohol? I'm starting to think Jesus is just a rip-off. What was God doing when Jesus was alive? He's sitting up in heaven, just sitting there. And Satan's down in hell. Satan's having a grand time. God's stuck in his cloud room with no beer. Maybe if he'd go down to hell and party once in a while it would loosen him up. God's way too serious all the time. He needs to get to hell and have some goddamn fun. You know, you gotta hand it to Satan. His name means bringer of light. He's like the god of having fun. He's like the most fun dude to ever exist. He brought us rock and roll. He brought us orgies, drugs, sex, you name it. I mean, I bet if there were a party god, it would be Satan. And his parties? Dude. Epic. And he has the best sense of humor in town. God's like boring Jesus. If Jesus hosted the party, it would be totally lame. No beer, no porn, no orgies. But Satan's party? He's got everything I mentioned before. You name it, he's got it. He's got the best sense of humor. He's got a killer sense of style. And even his name sounds cool. I mean, if I had to be in the presence of a god, I could do a lot worse than Satan. All Satan wants from us humans is to have a good time. Not to follow rules. Not to worship anybody. Satan believes in doing what you want. What's not a cooler dude than that? You know what else Satan invented? Drugs, sex, and fun. But God invented sins and work on Sundays. I mean, come on. What's not a cooler dude than a fun dude like Satan? I mean, Jesus would never tell a joke like that. I guess what I'm trying to say is that Satan rules. God drools. But God, you would think being God he would win some award for this. But no. Satan rules. Satan's the cool guy and God's the old guy with no sense of humor. You think God ever sits down and says to himself, I wish I could laugh, like Satan? That's where God went wrong. Humor is a big deal. Without it, you would lose your mind. Imagine if the Bible was a comedy book. Imagine if the 10 Commandments were written like this. Thou shalt not smoke crack without first offering to share. Who's with me? I bet with crack and sin and orgies and partying, I bet with Satan's brand of Christianity we would have world peace and world orgies. I love America, but Jesus Christ. And thank God for Satan.